Ever pondered why, in a world more connected than ever, loneliness still prevails? It's a paradox, isn't it? We're living in an era of unprecedented connectivity, yet loneliness, that old, uninvited guest, persists. A paradox we can't ignore, the feeling of being alone in a crowd. An odd sensation, isn't it? You're surrounded by people, engulfed in chatter and laughter, yet you feel like an island in the midst of an ocean, isolated, detached. The digital revolution was meant to bridge gaps, to bring us closer, yet loneliness is rampant, a silent epidemic of the modern world. It's as if our screens have become mirrors, reflecting back our solitude rather than connecting us to others. We're social beings, yet we're experiencing a crisis of connection, a crisis that leaves us pondering, questioning, and seeking answers. Could we find solace in an age-old philosophy, Buddhism? Buddhism, an ancient wisdom, offers a unique perspective on loneliness. Delving into the heart of Buddhism, we uncover 4 core principles, also known as the Four Noble Truths. First among these is the truth of suffering, which acknowledges that life, in all its facets, is characterized by a certain degree of dissatisfaction or discomfort. This includes the discomfort we feel when we experience loneliness. However, unlike many other philosophies and religions, Buddhism does not view this discomfort, this loneliness, as a problem to be solved, a demon to be exorcised. Rather, it is viewed as a part of life, a condition intrinsic to our existence as sentient beings. It is a thread in the rich tapestry of our human experience, not a stain to be scrubbed away. Indeed, in Buddhism, the sensation of loneliness is seen as a manifestation of dukkha, the Pali term for suffering or unsatisfactoriness. But this is not a pessimistic viewpoint, rather, it's a realistic understanding of the world and our place within it. The second noble truth, the truth of the origin of suffering, tells us that our discomfort arises from our attachment to transient things, our craving for permanence in an impermanent world. This includes our desire for constant companionship and our fear of being alone. Yet it is through the acceptance of this loneliness and the understanding that it is a natural part of our existence that we can begin to transcend it. The third noble truth, the truth of the cessation of suffering, teaches us that by letting go of our attachments we can attain a state of peace and liberation. This includes our attachment to the idea of constant companionship and our fear of solitude. The fourth noble truth, the truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering, guides us on a path that embraces solitude, not as a dreaded state, but as a space for self-discovery and growth. Buddhism suggests that understanding and embracing loneliness can lead to enlightenment. The first step in dealing with loneliness, according to Buddhism, is to acknowledge it. Just as we recognize the presence of a cloud in the sky, so too must we acknowledge the presence of loneliness in our hearts. This isn't about wallowing in sadness, nor about trying to push it away. It's about saying, yes, I'm feeling lonely right now. This is a crucial step. By acknowledging your loneliness, you're not dodging it or trying to mask it with distractions. You're giving yourself the permission to feel, to experience this emotion fully. This is not an act of self-pity, but rather one of self-awareness. This acceptance can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself. It can reveal what you truly crave in terms of companionship, connection, and belonging. It can expose the roots of your loneliness, and in doing so, offer the first glimmer of a path forward. Once you acknowledge loneliness, you are ready to explore it. Exploration is the second step in dealing with loneliness in Buddhism. In the vast ocean of human emotions, loneliness is but a fleeting wave. Just as the wave rises and falls, so too does loneliness ebb and flow. This is the impermanence of feelings, a core concept in Buddhism. It's the understanding that all things, including our emotions, are in a constant state of change. They are not fixed, not permanent. But how does one grasp this impermanence? Through exploration. Exploration in Buddhism isn't about venturing into physical territories. Instead, it's about delving deep into the self, into the mind, and into the heart. It's about looking at your loneliness not as an isolated, insurmountable mountain, but as a part of the ever-changing landscape of your emotions. The tool for this exploration is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, of observing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. It's like being a silent observer of your own life, watching the movie of your existence play out without getting entangled in the plot. When you practice mindfulness, you notice the rise and fall of loneliness. You see its impermanence. You see that loneliness, like all emotions, comes and goes. It doesn't define you. It doesn't own you. This exploration, this mindfulness, can lead to a profound sense of peace and acceptance. You start to see that loneliness is not a solitary affliction. It's a universal human experience. It's a part of the human condition. And with this realization, loneliness loses its sting. It becomes just another wave in the ocean of your emotions. A wave that you can ride with grace and equanimity. This exploration also reveals a comforting truth. You are not alone in your loneliness. You are connected to every other human being who has ever felt lonely, who has ever yearned for connection. So, remember, exploration isn't about escaping loneliness. It's about understanding it, accepting it, and realizing that it's a shared human experience. Exploration leads to realization, the realization that you are not alone in your loneliness. Transformation is the final step in dealing with loneliness in Buddhism. In the heart of Buddhism, transformation is not a one-off event, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. It's not about changing who we are, but rather understanding and embracing our true self, and in doing so, our perception of loneliness also changes. Imagine loneliness as a dark room. Initially, it may seem intimidating, filled with shadows of fear and uncertainty. But as we start to understand it, we begin to see things in a new light. We start to recognize the room's features, its corners and curves. We start to realize that this room, this loneliness, is not a prison, but rather a place of solace, a space for self-reflection and self-understanding. This understanding is the first step towards transformation. Once we understand our loneliness, we can begin to accept it. Acceptance here doesn't mean resignation. It's not about giving in to loneliness, but rather acknowledging its existence. It's about recognizing that loneliness is not an enemy to be defeated, but a part of our human experience. And once we accept loneliness, we can begin to transform it. We can turn this source of pain into a path towards enlightenment. We can use this solitude as an opportunity to delve deeper into our inner self, to explore our thoughts, feelings, and desires. We can use this time alone to cultivate mindfulness and compassion, to nurture our spiritual growth. In Buddhism, transformation is not about eliminating loneliness, but about changing our relationship with it. It's about shifting our perspective from seeing loneliness as a burden to viewing it as a blessing. It's about understanding that loneliness is not a sign of isolation, but a symbol of our unique individuality. And as we transform, we grow. We become more self-aware, more compassionate, more enlightened. We start to see the world and ourselves in a new light. We start to understand that we are not alone in our loneliness, that we are interconnected with all living beings in this universe. Through transformation, loneliness becomes a tool for self-understanding and enlightenment. In Buddhism, loneliness is not a predicament, but a path. This delicate yet profound thought encapsulates the Buddhist approach to dealing with loneliness. Rather than shunning it, Buddhism teaches us to acknowledge, explore, and transform this state of being, thereby turning it into a path of self-discovery and inner peace. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed today. Loneliness, like any other emotion, is a part of the human experience. It's an integral part of our existence, not a flaw or a failing. The first step in dealing with loneliness, therefore, is acknowledgement. We must accept our loneliness, not fight it. It's only when we recognize and admit to our feelings that we can begin to understand them. Following acknowledgement is exploration. This is where we delve deeper into our loneliness, examining it from all angles. We ask ourselves, why do I feel lonely? What triggers it? How does it affect me? Through this introspection, we familiarize ourselves with our loneliness, getting to know it as we would a friend. This exploration isn't about finding answers, but about understanding our feelings and learning to be comfortable with them. The final step is transformation. Once we've acknowledged and explored our loneliness, we can begin to transform it. This doesn't mean eradicating it, for that would be to deny a part of who we are. Instead, we transform our perspective towards it. We learn to see it not as a burden, but as an opportunity for growth and self-realization. We learn to find peace in solitude and wisdom in loneliness. In Buddhism, loneliness is a path to enlightenment. It's a journey of self-discovery, where each step takes us closer to understanding ourselves and the world around us. So, the next time you feel lonely, remember, it's not a predicament, but a path. Thank you for joining this journey into understanding loneliness through the lens of Buddhism. May you find peace in solitude and wisdom in loneliness.